Here we go. You missed the dog. Yeah, honey. She got away this morning. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Wait, let me just check, make sure. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, August 2nd, 2012. I'm going to go over the trades that we set up in the live trading room this morning, the ones we took, the ones we missed, all that sort of stuff. And before I go any further, let me tell you the results. The ES we got plus 8 ticks on that this morning. The NQ, and I'll just show you. ES plus 8 ticks. NQ plus 15 ticks. Crude oil plus 9 ticks. We didn't trade the YM. We didn't trade gold. We didn't trade the 6E. We didn't trade anything else. Just those three markets this morning. All right, those are the results. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go out to www.cfrn.net/apply, and you can sign up for the free trial there. When you take the free trial with us, you get access to all the indicators that you see here, the data feeds, all the data feeds that you see here, and more. The charting platform, all that stuff, you get access to all of it when you take the free trial with us. You get to sit in our live trading room for 2 hours per day for 5 business days, and that is that, guys. That's what you get when you become a free trial taker with us. Reminder for everyone, there is a partners meeting tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Partners meetings are always Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we have one tonight. For anyone who's on the free trial, you need to become a partner to get into the partners meeting, okay? It's for partners only. When you're a partner, you'll appreciate that. All right. That said, I am going to move on to the trades that we took. Now, the NQ, I took a bunch of trades on the NQ. At least I think I took a bunch. But I missed a bunch, too. All right. Maybe I didn't take a whole bunch. But I took a few. All right. I don't see... Well, anyway. I'll go over the trade setups. I think I forgot to mark a trade that I took. It might have been this first one right here. I'll have to go back and look at the actual trades. But anyway, the actual trade setup, it's going to be the same across all the 4-tick range charts. George, are you in here right now? George from Connecticut. Let me just check and see. E, F, G, H. No, he didn't make it in. Okay. Anyway. When you get a cross, this is the trade setup. This line right here is the MA1, the red and blue line is the MA1, the green line is the BBC. When you get a bullish cross of the MA1 over the BBC, that suggests that you should start looking for long trades. So, we buy on pullbacks down to the BBC. When prices moved above like that, we anticipate that it's going to try to find some area of support. That area of support is shown by the BBC. So when that happens, price pulls away, pulls back down, tests the BBC like it did right here. It tests the BBC. By that I mean it touches the BBC. BBC is the green line. You look down here and see if you have divergence between the green line and the cycle portion of the slingshot. If you have that divergence, then you come up here and wait for an up close on that bar. All right, the up close is where you enter the trade. You get long there and you look for profit. Okay, simple as that. We had that one right there. There was another one that followed up right here. This one wasn't great because the cycle portion was headed down, but it worked out okay. It tested the BBC, gave an up close, and we still had the bullish divergence right there. Okay, the market was a little mixed up in here as it was happening. You know, right here, for instance, it pulled back down, tested the BBC, and gave an up close, but the cycle portion was way down, so we weren't looking to take that trade. Same thing right here. You know, everything was really bullish in here, but we didn't take any more trades up here until we got up here. We took a little, I think we took like a tick profit on this trade. It pulled down, tested the BBC, gave an up close, we went long. Once it got stuck here, now it closed on the other side of the MA1. Once it closed on the other side of the MA1, we moved our stop up to +1 tick, I think, and that's where we ended up getting out. Right over here, you see we had a bearish cross. Price came back up, tested the BBC, and gave a down close, and we have bearish divergence, so you could have shorted right there. Same thing right there. All right, I have this highlighted right here. Now, this little thing right here was based upon a trade setup that I went over in the last couple of partners meetings. The partners understand all that. If you want to understand all that, this is where you could have entered it. What I was trying to illustrate here was how to get into this trade when it didn't pull back to the BBC, how you could have taken this trade anyway. Total momentum trade where you wouldn't have been looking for a pullback. Okay, you just jump in at the market and stay in. Right over here you see we had bearish divergence, bearish cross, tested the BBC with a down close. I actually shorted this one and took some profit. There was another one that followed up right here. It didn't really go anywhere. Gave 5 or 6 ticks profit before it turned back. Another one over here, I took this one and I took a break even on it. There was another short right over here, tested the BBC, down close. Another test of the BBC with a down close. Now you can see right here, guys, this is like the first hour and 10 minutes right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 opportunities to trade there in that first hour. And, you know, there was enough opportunity there for you to just walk away at that point and be done for the day. Even if you only used one contract, you know, there was a few $100 opportunity in there if you wanted it, okay? If you don't know this whole thing and how it all works, then take the free trial with us, and you'll be taught how it all works. There was an opportunity right here. We didn't get a pullback, but there was an opportunity to enter a short there, and again right there if you wanted to get in on that. Over here we had a bearish cross with a pullback up and tested the BBC with the bearish divergence, a down close, and down it went. Over here you might be saying, oh, well, we had a bullish cross and a test of the BBC, but it dropped right through. Look at the cycle down here. The cycle's going against you on this trade. You don't want to take a trade when that cycle's going against you, okay? You had too many closes below the BBC. You didn't want to take that trade. So right here, this was right at the end of the morning session, okay? During the break, there was another one there, and another one right here. A long one right over here. And that was pretty much it. That was the morning session on the NQ. Okay, we ended the morning session plus 15 ticks on the NQ. The ES. Now the ES this morning, we only took one trade on the ES. Actually, 2 trades. One was a break even. I missed this first one right at the open right here. Right after the open, I missed this first one. The entry, you had your bullish cross, test of the BBC. Now on the ES 10,000 contract, we buy and sell the BBC. So you would have entered here at the BBC looking for a couple of points. It made it. It came back down, tested it again. I got long here and I took 2 points. It came back down again. I missed this one. And that one went up. It almost stopped out. But if you had a 2-point stop on it, you stayed in the trade, and that went up 5 points. But 2 was all we were looking for. It tested it again right here. I got long on this. I ended up taking a break even on it. I don't remember if it went the full 2 points, but I ended up taking a break even on that trade. Then the wheels fell off and the thing started to go downhill. And it pulled back right over here. This was at the close of the morning session. It tested the BBC, and it just dropped right down into the weekly trading zone from there. Okay? So there was actually 10 points worth of opportunity this morning. 1, 2, 3, well actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points of opportunity. I took this one right here and got 2 points. I took this one and got a break even. I missed the other ones. Okay? That was the ES this morning. That was the ES 10,000 contract. Now I'm gonna go over something else here really quick with you on the 4-tick range ES. All the 4-tick range charts we trade the same exact way. Okay? We look for bullish cross, test of the BBC with an up close. And you see here on the ES we had that this morning. Right here we had a bullish cross, test of the BBC with an up close, and that went up. Again right here, bullish divergence, bullish cross, test of the BBC with an up close, and it went up. Over here on the way down we had a bearish cross, test of the BBC, bearish divergence, down close, and it went down, and it went down, and it went down. Over here we lost our divergence, so there was nothing in there. In here, there is a way to trade this. Again, I went over it in the partners meeting last week, and I'll go over it again in the partners meeting tonight. You could have gotten short right in here to take that opportunity right there. Okay. Right now, we don't have anything pulling away from the BBC, so we don't have any trades here on the 4-tick range. But I just wanted to point out that there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opportunities to go long or short there on the 4-tick range ES as well. Okay. So I've done the NQ, the ES. I'll go over the YM, though I didn't take any trades on the YM this morning. The 1500 contract, we had a bullish cross. Well, okay, we came into the morning right here. All right, and it was testing the BBC, and it came back down, and the MA1 held price. It held it right here. Then we had a bullish cross. It came back down, almost tested it right here on the 1500 contract, and then it moved up. Geez, what did it move up? 859 up to 1900. So it moved up 41 ticks from there. 41 ticks from right here. Came back down. It actually did test the BBC here at 864, and from that it moved back up to 896. So that was 32 ticks. Okay. After that, it just dropped all the way off, and now a decent trade would probably be a pullback up here to the BBC on the 1500 contract. You would look for a short opportunity off of that. Okay. Let's see, over here on the 4-tick range YM, I outlined a few trades that had set up there this morning. I didn't cover them all because there were so many of them. But you can see right here, it's the same exact thing. All the 4-tick range stuff is all the same thing. You look for your bullish cross, your test of the BBC, the up close with the divergence. Okay? Test of the BBC, up close with the divergence. So right there, right there. All these 4-tick range charts, you're looking at the same thing. Okay? Right there. That's a bearish cross, test of the BBC with bearish divergence. Alright? Over here, this was a bullish cross with a test of the BBC with bullish divergence. Right in there. Alright? Same thing there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And I know I'm doing all this in hindsight for anybody who's in here for the first time today. We're doing all this in hindsight right now, but we do it we do it live in the live trading room when it's actually happening. So this is all available for everyone. If anybody wants to come in here, take the free trial with us. If you have taken the free trial with us, partners meeting tonight. You need to be a partner. Okay, that was the YM. So I've done the NQ, the ES, the YM. Now I have crude, and I want to go over a little bit on the 6E. All right. I'm going to do the crude really quickly. I only took one trade on the crude this morning. There were a few that set up. You're looking, again, it's a 4-tick range, so you're looking at the same thing. Right here you get your bullish cross, test of the BBC with the up close. Over here, this was a way to jump into this when it didn't pull back, jump in on a momentum trade and take about $100 out of that pretty quick if you wanted to. Again, I'll show partners how to do that. Over here we had a bullish cross, test of the BBC with an up close with a bullish divergence. We had it again right here, but the cycle portion was headed down, so I don't like that trade. Over here we had a bearish cross, test of the BBC with a down close, and again right there. This is the trade that I took this morning. We had a bearish cross, test of the BBC with a down close. I shorted over there and I took profit over there. It did it again right after that, short right there. Could have taken profit there. You could have gotten into this trade right here, total momentum trade, right there. Now, if you had gotten into that, 87.89, right in that area would have been your entry, and it ran up to 88.48. So that's what, 59 ticks. That's $590 per contract from 1048.55 to 1053.17. Right, 1053.17. So not bad for 5 minutes of work per contract. If you had 10 contracts on, it was $5,000 in 10 minutes, or 5 minutes. $1,000 a minute, right there. I think I have to say right now, because I said that, I think I have to say there is risk involved in trading, and past performance does not indicate future results. We had a bearish cross right here, a test of the BBC with a down close. We had the bearish divergence. Okay. Right there. Okay, and it dropped down. That's what you're looking for. The same thing over and over and over and over and over again. This was right at the end of the morning session right here. We had a big run-up right here. Now, you could have gotten into the run-up. Actually, you couldn't have gotten into the run-up, just looking at it. It would have been a little more risky to get into it down here. But anyway, so you missed that run-up. But you could have gotten in right over here. Okay. You have your bullish cross, your test of the BBC, your up close, and your bullish divergence. That's all you're looking for. All right? You get long. And that's it. That is it on the crude. Now, this morning when the ECB statements were made, that's what caused this precipitous decline that Dwayne was talking about earlier. That's not the one. That's not this one right here. It was an even bigger one than that, right here. Okay, it had a higher start. The 6E got slammed at the same time. Okay, let me bring that up and I'll show you the 6E just so you can see you can trade the 6E using the same exact thing. It's 4-tick range, using the same indicators and everything. I'm going to take this off on the 6E for right now. That was from last week's partners meeting. But you can see right here the euro got hammered this morning. And there were opportunities to get in on that. Right here, this would have been one of those things that the partners could have got in on with the stuff that I showed them last week. Could have gotten in right there. There's another way you could have gotten in right here. Partners could have gotten in right there on that move down. Now, these are not insignificant moves on the euro. This thing, if you got in right over here, we'll say it. Let's just make it an even 23.90. Okay, let's say you got in down here at 23.90. I had a horrible entry. The first stop after that from 23.90 was down here at 23.33. That's 57 ticks. It's 12.50 a tick. 12.50 a tick. So you guys can do the math on that. It's significant. And it did it again right here. Now this one here was just a regular setup. You bearish cross, you tested the BBC, and a down close with bearish divergence. Okay, right there's a bearish divergence. You could have gotten into that one, partners, based on what I said in last week's meeting. You could have gotten into that right there. Okay, that again from 13.23.23 down to 13.23.88. That's what, 12.35 ticks. That's the equivalent of 9 points on the ES, just about. The equivalent of 9 ES points right there. Okay, that's significant. Again, right there, same thing. Partners could have gotten in right here for this little move down. Regular, just tested the BBC with a down close right there. Okay. Over here, this is one of the ones that partners could have gotten into. Again, right here, twice in this move down. And we're not even at 9 o'clock yet. The U.S. markets haven't even opened up. All right, bearish cross, tested the BBC, down close, bearish divergence. Could have gotten short right in here. The cycle's moving up a little too much for me on that one, so I probably wouldn't have done that. Could have gotten short again right in here. Let's see. None of these here actually tested the BBC, so you wouldn't have been looking to get long. Okay, another opportunity to get short right in here. Long there, short there. Now we're getting in toward the end of the euro session right here, but oops, there was bearish divergence and a test of the BBC with a down close right there. And over here the cycle was going up too strong. We wouldn't want to do that. And that's pretty much it right now for the euro. So there was just a ton of opportunity across all these markets this morning. Okay. For those of you who either live in London or live in Europe and like to trade the euro, this works on all the other EE markets as well. The 6E, the 6J, all those different ones, all the 6 markets is what I mean. Take a look. If you haven't taken a free trial with us, take a free trial. If you have taken a free trial with us and you don't know what it takes to become a partner, send me an email at support@cfrn.net and I will let you know. All right. I'm going to wrap up my recording here because I can see I run over a little bit. All right. If anybody has any questions, support@cfrn.net. All right.